Hi guys, this is our front end figuring out video. I have no idea what we're doing, so I'm going to pass this on to my dad.
Hi guys. Well, basically what John was getting at is that this is a much more complicated front end because we want to have plow gear available on this. John has been obsessed with the idea. He wants to help with plowing the driveway since he was about 3 years old. So we're going to try and make his wish come true with this. But what that means is that we need to fix these frame rails. This is the one that came off of this side here. This is what it's supposed to look like. So we've got the plow gear pieces and the plow pivots right here. And these slide in like that. So the problem is what we need is this winch needs to be mounted high enough to clear the plow gear, but yet as close as possible to the machine in order to keep the weight in and not have a big giant gaumy front end. So John and I have gone through and we've found this bull bar here that's off a Craftsman. I do believe this is off of a Craftsman GT5000. It's a newer style, so that's what I think it came off of. But we've got this one, we've got this one, we've got this one. We've got a standard MTD push bar front. So we had a few to pick from, but this is the only one that will actually slide into the rail, similar to how the plow gear slides in. And the reason being is because what we want is we want this bumper to be fully removable to run the plow. And what we're going to do is underneath the bumper down here is we're going to make the skid plate that goes in underneath in order to bump the front end up whenever John hits something, similar to what we have on Mud Wizard. Now, one of the things I had to go and sort out for you guys, we pull this out, and so this right here slides in here because this side I've already rebuilt. This side here shows what it looks like. So what I had to do on each one of these, and if we have John come in close, I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but on these they are spot welded. So there was 1, 2, and then, if I can get it to show, 3 spot welds. And what I had to do was drill out each one of those, and then I sliced all of this perfectly straight. And then, John, if you come around, you can show them this. Yep, take your time. So now what we have is we slice this off square, and then we bolted it together through this bolt hole that was provided, and it's all squared off. I just wanted to add a little bit of a snippet. So basically what I did was I cut right through on this side here so that I had a point that was marked that I could use because of where this was. But one thing I did on this was that I cut this off first and then drilled out the rivets, and I really shouldn't have done that because the piece here was all bent and it sprung and it snapped one of my drill bits. So on this round here, I'm drilling all of these out first, and then I'm going to cut this off once I'm sure it's in. This piece here hasn't been beat to snot and looks as if it's straight, but after having that brand spanking new drill bit get snapped off, I'm not taking chances. There we are. So we put that bolt in place, clamped it up, right like that. There we go. See, right there, it does perfectly fine welding flux core. But this is also quite a bit thicker than what I tried to do earlier. So it definitely was no good for doing exhaust. The other thing is it only allows the setting for 0.035. And when they sent it to me, they said it would do 0.03, which is what I weld. Well, the technicality is it'll fit 0.03, but it actually is only made to run 0.035. So just something to think about if you're thinking about picking up one of these. I mean, it welds great. It runs the stick welder. It does 220 stuff. And I'm sure that if I had argon or CO2 and I was running solid core, that it would be an amazing machine. But for many of us, a lot of us are running flux core, and I just wanted to point this out. There's a front end picture of my original main mud mower that bounces around the internet that shows this piece right here. And I do this on all of my rigs, and I get asked why that piece is there all the time. And the reason being is people don't understand where the front end is going to be when you're winching this thing out. So my winch is here, and everybody assumes you're going to be winching in a straight line straight out of the winch. But the real reality is there is a very good chance where we mud bog that you're going to be in mud to here on these front tires. And your back tires are going to be in mud all the way to there. So when you winch, you actually prefer to winch, if you can, at an angle going up, so that you bring the center line of this front tire up and over whatever it is you're up against. You don't want to be coming center line into something, because that's how you break things. You want to be rolling it up and over. So that's why I put these on all of my mud rigs, because it allows me, instead of winching straight and being required to winch straight, it allows me to winch at an angle upwards in order to be able to pull stuff out. Alright, let's get a few more things lined up, and hopefully we'll have a winch and a bumper on here soon. There we go. We made that piece so it slides in, and we've got a cross member welded in underneath there, because the goal at this point is to skim the top of that to the point that this slides in. And once we hit the point that this is going into this piece, because as you can see they're on the same level, then we'll mark this and we'll cut it off like so. And then after that we'll build the skid plate off of this place in underneath. Alright, so we've got that cut down to about the right level to make it fit in the frame. As you can see, I need to do the other side. So once this is at the point it'll slide in far enough that this hits, we'll cut a notch in here. And I'm kind of debating maybe trying to make a loop of some sort over the top with something. Haven't quite decided yet. We'll see when we get there. At this stage, there is nothing sexy about this, but it is at the functional. So we've got a spacer here, and on the opposite side, we've got nuts welded in. So if we take this and we lift it up, see if I can do this on camera. This is hard to do when you're trying to line up through the camera screen. There we go. So that goes like that. And that slides in. And then on each side, we've got a bolt. And the bolt's going to go in here. And if we play with it a little, I'll go in like that. And there we go. So previously I talked about the idea of putting a finishing loop in the top of this. I have decided that for now I'm going to refrain from that because I want to put a plowing Fairlead on this. Warren actually makes a specific Fairlead for running a plow on your ATV, and I have found running them has saved me tons of Fairlead destruction in the course of the last few years. I was blowing up a cheap $25 Fairlead every single winter, and the Warren plow Fairlead works perfectly, and I think I'm on my 4th year with one. Let's build a skid plate out of some junk we got here. So that is a roller out of a printer. The skid plate piece is an upside down battery tray out of a newer MTD style tractor, Cub Cadet. So this is going to lift up, and we're going to cut it out so that we can weld it up against that piece. And then the roller will just slide in place and we'll weld that. And through it, in theory, that whole entire bumper bar thing should come out with 2 bolts in order to go plowing. We got the seam on the front of this welded up on our battery tray turned skid plate. So at this point, we should be able to come in here and set that in like that and slide it back and have it not work. Why are we not working? What did I do wrong? Internet, tell me what I did wrong. Actually, I know what I did wrong. What happened is when I welded this, it pulled it forward. So that's why it fit when I took it off, but now it doesn't. So what I've got to do now is I need to mercilessly give this a thump or two right about here on a straight edge to bend that piece up so it goes in where it's supposed to. There we go. As you can see, that now slides right in place, so we'll grab our little Kymo ratchet here and drive that home. And come over here and do the other side. There we go. This thing is totally worth the investment. I don't think I could live without one at this point. Once you get one, you become obsessed with them. So there we go. That's what we now look like. We've got our full skid plate underneath there. Got our front crash bar. We've got that set up. So I'm going to end up having to cut this back. I'm off by about 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, as you can see. But like I said, I'm going to swap this out for a Warren plow Fairlead, and those are bigger anyway. So once we get that swapped out, we'll put in a loop over the top in order to give it some more strength. But at this point, I would say that looks pretty good. Now, I just need to handle this mess. Thank you everybody for supporting John in this build and for supporting me and for passing on all the information and the ideas and sharing my videos and everything. This couldn't be possible without you guys. I totally respect and understand that, so a big giant thank you. Have a good day.